I seen this article that was very interesting on the timeline, and the headline was, so for those unaware, the Dragon Age Veilguard previews are out. There's been a media blitz today, and this article caught my attention from Eurogamer in particular. The headline was, after playing all day, Dragon Age the Veilguard feels like the series' Mass Effect 2 moment. Now, I've been saying on this stream, BioWare needs one. They fucked up with Anthem. They fucked up with Andromeda. They are on the clock. And I've been saying from all the preview videos we've seen, the gameplay, I was like, this is looking real good. The Go Wokey Go Brokies tried to cancel this game. Oh, this is not my Dragon Age. I was like, nah, this game looks good. Shut the fuck up, bitch. This shit looks good. You niggas is miserable. And as we saw more gameplay, I seen people in the chat starting to say the same thing. So I seen this headline. I said, ooh, I saved this article because I wanted to read the preview along. And then I seen videos hit the sub box. So fuck an article because we're watching the video. Don't fumble, BioWare. Don't fumble. I got a Eurogamer's joint. That's the one that wrote the article. I might play this full video and then I might skim through Mr. Maddie's video because his shit is almost 30 minutes. But I was saying since the last previews, this is looking like a Game of the Year contender. Let's see what they talking about at Eurogamer.
There's a BioWare game I keep coming back to when I hear Bertie Purchase telling me all about the several hours he spent playing Dragon Age the Veilguard, and it's probably not the game you're expecting me to say. It's not Dragon Age Inquisition, and it's not Dragon Age Origins, or
I'm taking risk.
Dragon Age 2. It's a game from another series the studio is probably better known for, and arguably it's the studio's best. It's Mass Effect 2.
Now, I've been saying since I've been watching all the preview videos on this stream, I've been saying this game looks, I was like, I'm not trying to get too excited, but I've been saying from the eye test, I was like, this game looks like a mix between Mass Effect and Batman Arkham. Weird combination with the BioWare storytelling. Weird combination, but I'm fucking with it.
Just as Mass Effect 2 streamlined role-playing in Mass Effect 1, honing it into a pacier cinematic action game, Veilguard does this for Dragon Age.
Oh, we drop kicking niggas off?
There are no pretensions of being an open-world game as in Inquisition. The Veilguard is a narrower, mission-based game, and because of it, the base never sags. Whatever you do, there's a feeling of purpose and shape to it.
This looks like a good power
Missions
fantasy.
Crescendo to spectacular boss fights, with cinematic encounters leading to them that feel
Which edition you buying?
Traverse
Honestly, lately I've been buying mostly the most expensive editions of games just because like I'd be looking for tax write-offs. I ain't gonna lie.
varied with puzzles and zip wires and slides and balance beams. There's never any dead time. Always there's momentum.
Is it
and
don't give
at
me
its
hope?
best, it's a breathlessly exciting.
I heard it's gonna be Steam Deck verified. I hope so.
Screams confidence. Something the Dragon Age team seems
It
to
screams
have
confidence. That's what I like to hear.
This
And I want y'all to
is
think about like how often in these preview videos do you hear them talk about a game like that? This game screams confidence. That's what I like to hear.
with its identity ever since it began, and that's changed hugely from one installment to the next. And okay, yes, it is noticeable that the lines between Dragon Age and Mass Effect are blurring, whereas before the teams and games have felt distinct, but there's
Right. Ethos is right. If they drop the reviews a week or two before the game actually comes out, that's how you know it's fire. That's always a sign of confidence.
no denying that the resulting effect here is a good one. Dragon Age the Veilguard is good.
No, you don't need to play the previous games to follow this one. From my understanding from other previews, there will be a recap at the beginning of the game of like the events of the previous games. But even still, I believe this is kind of like its own story, so you don't need to play them. And also remember YouTube summaries, just in case.
Although I didn't get hands-on with Dragon Age the Veilguard, Bertie Purchase did, and he was kind enough to share his preview and impressions with me. You can read his full preview on Eurogamer.net, but until then, you're here with me, so sit back and let me tell you what I know. Bertie begun his demo day
That shit
at the
doing big
very
damage.
beginning of the game, character customization, which I'm pleased to report is as feature-rich as I think.
Yo, look at the hair.
Expected it
Hey, I don't know if the PS4 gonna run that, chat. Look at the way the hair
to
moving.
be. There are 4 races.
I know y'all feel like you can run it, but I don't know.
Qunari, dwarf, or elf, And you can customize the shapes of their bodies as well as intricately sculpt the shapes of
We could give a BBL Game of the Year.
Really fond of the triangular slide around gauge for face.
I'm gonna give my character the
body shape
fattest
and
ass.
structure, which is fun to play with and see the effects in real time. And of the hair, which is some of the most believable looking hair I've ever
Yeah, that shit
seen
actually
in a
does look
game.
really good.
More unusual features include
BBL Viking.
customizable bulge size for exactly what you think it's for.
Oh! I could be a big dick black elf. Let's go. With a
metal
BBL.
slider, and a cataract eye or eyes.
That's my type of RPG where I can do stupid
There's
shit.
a lot of detail here. I have an entire video coming out about the character creator.
Make a
and
big
program
Cocosaurus
alone,
Rex.
So keep an eye out for that. There is so much to say about it. Anyway, another notable character creation feature includes creating or importing an Inquisitor from Dragon Age Inquisition. If you don't have an Inquisitor, no worries, you can create.
These are the same people that said Shadow of the Erdtree was a 3 out of 5 because the game was too hard, so I'm skeptical. I understand that, but if you go and look at like other articles and videos, universally, I have not seen anybody say anything negative about this game so far. Like, it's been nothing but glowing reviews.
And customize one.
I think where there's
which
smoke,
involves
there's
visual
fire.
Customization as well as cycling through major story
What
decision
up, Splurge?
points from the previous game to choose what you would have done. This serves a similar purpose to the keep feature in Inquisition and, indeed, replaces it. The other thing you can do while customizing a character
PS4 is now an
is to
affirmative
pick
action
your
console.
faction in the game, of which there are several, and from which your main companions will originate. Some
They all got
are
perks and
like
shit.
The Grey Wardens or the Antivan Crows.
I believe Mass Effect is on Game
whereas
Pass.
The others are new. They all offer a storied background to layer upon your character, as well as some mechanical benefits. Grey Wardens, for example, deal increased damage to Darkspawn, of which there are many, and they have slightly increased base health and defense. Being a Grey Warden also enables you to choose Grey Warden dialogue options when they appear. It all reminded Bertie somewhat of the origin stories from Dragon Age Origins, and there were several references to his faction in parts of the game he played, which is nice.
So there's going to be little callbacks to the previous games. There better be a good recap at the beginning.
Bertie chose his Rook to be a rogue, after which he played the section of the game you've seen trailered in Minrathus, up to and past the point of meeting Solas, and then beyond. A good hour or more beyond, actually, which means both he and I know what happens to Varric, but we are sworn to secrecy. He saw the new lighthouse base,
Making a
and
black
the
elf and
Alaphan
maxing out
Forest,
agility.
and the crossroads beyond the Alluvian Mirror. He adventured in the city of Treviso and an underwater city, and he struggled through eerie, blight-infested towns riddled with darkspawn and zombified inhabitants. He battled dragons, fought ogres, and clashed with
What class you think you're gonna
demons,
main? I don't know, bro. I'm gonna go through all the shit and see what's the pros and cons of each.
ages, and twisted
We'll know when we get there.
monstrosities. He did a lot, and the Veilguard provided variety and
You also know what's another telltale sign of confidence, chat? From all the previews that I've seen on Twitter, people tweeting, everybody said that they got 6 hours with this game. As someone who's previewed a lot of games, I cannot stress enough. I don't think I've ever done a 6-hour demo. Ever. And the one that I can think of off the top of my head, it was because it was early access to the game. It wasn't something that was near completion. A 6-hour demo, that's a sign of confidence. Usually at most you'll get 2 hours. And even there are times where, like, when I went to go play Monster Hunter Wilds, like last month, I got to play for 30 minutes. So a lot of times it's like an hour or two on average. They let them play for 6 hours. That's a sign of confidence that they're not, because like a lot of times what happens is they'll try to control it. Like they'll be like, all right, you have an hour on the game and please don't go to this part of the map because it's not finished and please don't show any bugs. Like they're showing damn near a good portion of the game.
visual spectacle throughout. No two areas looked or felt the same, and from a video producer point of view who spends hours combing through footage to bring you the best bits, it's the best I've seen a BioWare game ever look. Bertie tried all 3 character classes over the course of the day at varying
That's why I said it reminds me of Batman Arkham right there. Like I said, it's like Mass Effect meets Arkham because it has that counter system basically, or it's like a perfect dodge type beat.
character levels, and Rogue emerged as his favourite. It's to do with the speed of the class, the way it twirls and tumbles around the battlefield.
If the demo's 6 hours, can we expect the game to be long?
Gaiden-like.
It's BioWare, it's an RPG. Outside of Anthem, most BioWare games are like 30 hours plus. It's an RPG. It's gonna be a little meaty.
Feel.
Probably.
And there's a never-ending simple pleasure in trying to land headshots.
Luke Stevens said that shit was polished out the ass and he tested how deep your choices mattered. This is a good game to come out because when this game first got announced, the internet pounced on it. Like I said, people love to be miserable. This is the type of game that's gonna like show people like, yo, chill the fuck out. Let's let the game come out and then judge it. But everybody just be wanting everything to fucking fail.
The Warrior came pretty close with its
Y'all don't want to have fun?
shield toss though, and with its dropkick, which is ridiculous fun, particularly near the edge of a cliff. Run up and bam, multiple enemies go flying. It's a very physical game. The Veilguard.
I hope we can get rid of the numbers off the interface. I don't want to see all them numbers.
RPG. All of the classes have a full complement of combat abilities as standard. They can dodge or dash and perform some kind of ranged attack, and block, as well as attack with light.
The numbers the best
medium
part.
hits.
Yeah, but what you talking about don't matter. No matter.
And you will frequently have to use all of them to survive.
Oh, I see a perfect parry too.
Even
I think that was one.
Enemies won't leave you alone. They'll teleport or dash to get at you, closing gaps and
Did he
hurling
pull out a
enemies
death scythe? What the
away.
fuck?
It's challenging, and there's a lot of running and dodge rolling required to deal with it. Also, just a quick note, there are more difficulty options than I've ever seen in a BioWare game if you want to adjust this. While you don't have direct control over what your two companions do,
Could you link this video? I want to show a
do
friend.
have
Yeah, I
some
got you.
control over their special abilities. On a controller, you can press a shoulder button to bring up a radial menu where you and your companions' special abilities are shown. Here, the game will highlight any abilities that work well against the enemy you're facing, and any abilities that will combo with your...
Damn, they said they got a game journalist mode confirmed. Because one of the funniest things about me streaming Mass Effect is I learned a lot of people did not know how to play Mass Effect. Y'all was running the soldier class, and those of you who didn't know how to mix and match the abilities to combo. They said they now in the menu, when you pause it, it's going to help you a little bit. Oh shit, y'all niggas love to make fun of game journalists, but I found out playing Mass Effect, a lot of y'all are game journalists. Just be talking shit.
Companions. It's big and obvious.
Y'all need the game journalist
Can't
mode.
miss it. Set it all up, and big damage numbers will pop up on the screen alongside dramatic visual effects. Combined attacks are hugely effective and incredibly satisfying to do. There is, though, a bit of
Elder
a
Ring
wait
proved that when
in
people
between
bitched about the
using
DLC being too hard,
as you
then 3
refresh
days later, everybody figured out you needed the runes to get your
or
power
the
up.
ability to refresh. I'm sure as you get to know the game better, you'll be able to manage resource gain more efficiently and power special abilities more often, but Bertie told me he often found himself waiting around.
I like this game's art direction. I feel like it makes it stand out from the pack. I can't even explain the art direction. It just has like an earthy yet vibrant look to it. It makes it stand out from the competition, I
a
think.
lot with nothing very effective that he could
The Rad Brad Warriors, that's what you call
particularly
them.
as a mage. There were his default attacks. He liked the proton pack like energy beam, but he told me that he still kinda felt ineffective most of the time. I should add that each class has 3 specializations plus a load of miscellaneous skills and abilities interlinking them, so it's more than possible it's the build Bertie didn't gel with rather than the class, but the mage was still his least favourite of the 3 classes to play. Combat in general, though, was great. It's remarkable how far Dragon Age games have come in this regard. It doesn't even feel like an RPG anymore, but an action game full of energy and heft and impact, and the need for you to be awake and paying attention
Translation. It's fun.
at all times. And because of the mission-based structure, any encounter you do come across is there because it's been selected to be there, not because you randomly came upon it. So there's a considered mix of...
It would be fire if this shit had
spread
co-op,
thoughtfully
yeah.
around in order to make the encounter interesting, which they almost always are. This kind of consideration carries over into level design. Again, because you're taking the route the game knows you'll take, it's made sure the route is an interesting one. So you'll be walking along balance beams between buildings, jumping across platforms, climbing, doing a bit of environmental
If this was Wukong, you wouldn't even be able to fall off.
puzzling, and sliding
an invisible
down
wall.
inclines like Commander Shepard. It's never just running from point A to B.
You already know I'm doing an asshole
Where we
playthrough.
meet the assassin companion Lucanus, a place of nighttime markets and softly lit lanterns. We zipline across the rooftops at dizzying speed, giving the whole place a sense of size and the level a sense of pace. Of course, it's all an illusion. You'll walk these same routes again and again if you pay attention, and though the city appears densely populated and buzzing, you can't really interact with the people you see there. It's all set dressing. But it's beautiful set dressing, and how interactive does it really need to be? There's a lot about Veilguard that falls into this category of thinking.
Translation, the game is more linear. You will be able to finish this game, chat.
Really need it? You don't loot bodies in the game and scarcely spend any time in your inventory because you don't need to. Loot has been tidied away to chests, which you rip open with a God of War-like glee, and if there's new equipment inside, there's an upgrade system whereby new items will usually upgrade something you already have, helping keep your bags and mind clutter-free. It's a continuation of the work you can see underpinning Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition, but streamlined
Drip over
further
stat.
still. The cornerstone of a BioWare game, according to BioWare, is your companions, so a lot of focus has been put on them. Bertie eventually met all of them during his various play sessions, though he spent much more time with Harding, Balara, and Knave, all of whom he found interesting.
Why she got a book on the
There's
side
an
of her
element
head?
of hamminess to each of them, but then it's a hammy kind of game overall. How deep each of their stories will go, we can only guess. You can, of course, romance them, and you'll
Luke Stevens said, choices you make impact everything. Your companions, their quests, and their people, you know.
do most of your talking
Sounds
back
like BioWare
at
might be
your
back.
lighthouse base, which is located inside the Fade, the place where magic is drawn from. Bertie tried a bit of flirting with Harding and Knave and Lucanus. I would do the same, honestly. And it's very reminiscent of previous Dragon Age games. A heart icon shows the flirtatious answer you can give. It's all mild stuff so far. The lighthouse area itself is a place of floating platforms and improbable architecture, and, over time, each of your companions will occupy different dormant parts of it, where you can venture out to meet them. There's a nice time-saving feature I actually really like, whereby a kind of floating light will illuminate outside their buildings to denote they have a story moment just waiting within, which saves you traipsing around all the time, trying to make sure you don't miss any of those stories.
The next Mass Effect game is about to be butter on toast, and that's what I'm saying. This is the real reason to be excited, chat. This game looked good, and if it reviews well, the next game they are working on is Mass Effect, so that means they're gonna take what they learned from here, and they about to turn it up a notch.
Points. That is an issue I had with Baldur's Gate
This is the
3,
testing
so
grounds.
I'm really glad that they're signposting it this clearly. You'll also be able to, I believe, customize the lighthouse in some way, although BioWare is staying very close-lipped about how. Despite playing a day's worth of the Veilguard, it's still tricky to get a sense of the game overall, not least because Bertie had only played parts of one act in a 3-act game. It's an enormously confident showing, and personally, I am so pleased to see BioWare in this kind of form, but how much depth and choice there is, I'm still unsure. Dialogue choices to Bertie felt more like different flavours of the same answer, rather than different answers in themselves, and the overall
She's saying
thrust
something
of
different than
game
the other
felt
dude.
like one path with deviations, rather than...
Yo, that drop kick is nasty.
There are big choices. There are choices that change entire cities, but these are main quest moments carefully written into the overarching story. They're not the many smaller choices we rely upon to create our own tapestries. Then again, Mass Effect 2 didn't offer that, and look how history has remembered it. As a cinematic action game, the Veilguard roars with quality, and as a role-playing game, it provides a refreshing tonic to the density of Baldur's Gate 3, which it will no doubt be compared against, though perhaps it would be better considered complementary to. Following our very long chat, Bertie's final impression of the game was that it left him with no doubt the Veilguard will be an enjoyable ride. Both of us just wonder how memorable that ride will be. And that's all I've got.
Let me translate that for you, chat. She said, based off what I played, this feels like at least bare minimum an 8. I got to play more to see if it's a 9 or a 10. But what I got out of that, if you read between the lines, it's at least an 8. That's good. That's good. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. We got to see what my man's Mr. Matty says. I'm finna put this shit on 1.5. This motherfucker yapping. And I'm not even going to probably watch all this. I might just drop the link. Yeah, I got a feeling it's going to score either at 88 or a 92, between an 88 and 92. Or a 7 from IGN.
Everybody, it is
that's that's all they like to do.
BioWare fan, it's been a bumpy ride for us these last 10 years.
IGN 7.
For many people, the decline began with Mass Effect 3, but I adore that game from top to bottom. And it really started for me with Dragon Age Inquisition with what we call the Hinterlands problems and just the game.
Yeah, I agree. I liked Mass Effect 3. It's just the ending sucked.
Excessively. From there on, it would be games like Mass Effect Andromeda that I would approach with a cautious level of optimism, only to be let down by the thing I know BioWare best for, which is the writing. And then Anthem, as we all know, felt like a step in the wrong direction for this single-player RPG studio. When we heard rumors of the next Dragon Age game being multiplayer only, like many of you, I was holding my breath that they would switch directions. When it was confirmed they did, that was exciting.
My man's is yapping. Get to the game.
There. Now, the visuals have been a point of contention for Dragon Age the Veilguard. For many, BioWare made an incredible fantasy game in 2009 in Dragon Age Origins, and then have made 3 more that go in the opposite direction artistically at the very least. To me, it's an evolution of what Inquisition had started, so I don't look at it as too much of a radical departure, especially when I look at BioWare's games as a whole. I also think this new art style really lets the environments pop with some great color work and lighting. Locations like the lighthouse, which serves as a hub, really stunned me with just how good they look.
Still yapping.
Remind me of like a gothic Italy and felt totally.
Yeah, my man talking about the art. What about the gameplay though?
The time I went underwater with a boat spinning and all of a sudden I spawned in this dungeon, it didn't feel like there was a real connecting point between the two.
Put it on 3.5, yo, chill.
Sometimes that loading screen break between what I last saw and what I'm seeing next, it can be a little bit jarring and I lose a bit of a sense of place there. It's a weird nitpick. I'm curious if it's going to grow as I play more of the game. Line delivery can also be a bit spotty for characters like Nev and Bellara. For example, Bellara delivered the same line as Harding during one point on the assault on Weishaupt, yet Harding sounded to me at least way better and more convincing, whereas Nev during combat could at times be extremely flat. But on that note, let's talk about characters because that's what defines these games. And for me, I didn't really indulge in too many side conversations given I wanted to save that for my own personal playthrough, but I do have thoughts on the cast. It feels like each character is really given an introductory mission to properly set you up with who they are. Characters like Nev and Harding don't really get that because they open the game with you, but since with Inquisition you do get familiar with Harding, there is that benefit there where you get to focus on Nev some more. But there are choices that you're going to make that are going to play a factor here, and that'll build your adoration for these characters. For example, as someone who did not care too much for Harding in Inquisition, I am ready to die for Harding now. Why is that? Because I made a choice that hurt her badly. Really badly. I made a choice where I was like, hey, come on with me into combat.
I don't want to hear nothing about the story. Come on, Matt. I just want to hear the damn gameplay. What was your thoughts on the gameplay?
Still, my point being is this game is much more structured. You also get to decorate your own place as a mage. Inquisition was a mix of the two, and to me, felt a little weird. Veilguard finds itself in the middle of all three as far as I'm concerned.
There we go.
The likes of Mass Effect and Anthem to give it its own feel. In a strange way, Dragon Age Veilguard is a love letter to all prior BioWare games. For example, it reminds me a lot of Origins, where you're swapping weapon sets, but also, and this is no exaggeration, you're going to pause the game frequently to tactically assess the situation and take down your foes. And I was pausing this game more than any Dragon Age game before since Origins. This also reminds me of Dragon Age 2 a bit. This could be a redemption arc for fans of this game. Many were underwhelmed at the time when Dragon Age 2 was first released, and while I've come to love it, I get why others didn't at first, and still don't, given how radical of a departure it was from Origins. Dragon Age 2's combat was extremely simple, and a large reason for that was the game was made in an extremely short period of time, like a year's time. So in that context, it was quite impressive. But my point here...
Why you put Anthem question mark? What about it?
Resurrected and built upon. You can now switch between light and heavy attacks, use ranged weapons to crush through barriers, parry or dodge attacks. There's even little wrinkles I didn't anticipate, like being able to fire off a shot from my bow mid-dodge, which are these tiny things that maintain combat momentum. But
that's fire.
As for Inquisition, this is the game I see the most when it comes to Veilguard's combat evolutions, and personally, I think it's for the best. Inquisition always felt like a game.
Shout out to Tony with the sub.
And that's as someone who's played through the game 3 times. You have a little tactics, a little action, but it never really quite picks a lane, and for many people, that's what makes it special. Dragon Age Veilguard knows it is an action game, but does not forsake the tactics that have defined the series since it began, despite people who haven't played it yet claiming the opposite. What that means is, for example, I, for one, was up in arms when I heard, like, hey, we can't control our companion. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know, that's a bold choice there. But then I played the game and was all over the map, activating companion abilities, commanding them on who to attack, zipping all over the place, and realized this was actually a pretty smart design decision to go with. I was also nervous when I heard that this would be a...
I like that. Translation, internet, chill the fuck out. You're not a game dev. Let the devs work.
Because it did like Inquisition's ability to pause the action. Then I played Veilguard and paused the action to strategize more than I ever did during Inquisition. Inquisition's combat felt a little slow, particularly in my case where my last playthrough was a Canary with two-handed weapons. I felt that slow pace was necessary for Inquisition because you wanted to stop, assess the situation. It was a little more tactically driven. Then I played the Veilguard and realized I could have my cake and eat it too, because this game could go really fast and you could assemble tactics and tell your companions what to do at the same time. There are more obvious inspirations from Inquisition.
Shout out to Joe with the sub.
The defining title, where Inquisition, you're the Inquisitor, in Veilguard, you are a Rook. Also the visuals, obviously. But yeah, it's more of an evolution here that leaves behind the weaker elements, in my opinion. And that's also the case in design, as stated earlier, when it comes to the world and exploration. Then you have Mass Effect, which is pretty obvious. The ability selection wheel is here, and I think it feels at home in Dragon Age. I've always been a proponent of this idea. I think it's playing out well, and that's because of the element they borrowed from Anthem. The primers and detonators are here, and they are combining for some seriously powerful and stunning attacks with your companions. And this really determined who I brought with me, since you can easily identify enemy weaknesses. So if I know I'm going to face like a lot of Darkspawn, let's say they're weak to fire damage, it's like, okay, I'm going to bring like a mage with me, and that mage can combo with like Harding, and then I can combo with both of them, and now we got some good tech going. So you'll draw an attachment to these characters by what they can do in combat as well as the words they speak to you.
Translation, there's no excuse for sucking because the game is helping you.
And I haven't even gotten to the actual depth of this system. This is just surface level mechanical speak. I don't know how they balance this. I really don't.
I don't know,
It made more sense when Corinne told me this.
We're very much focused on wrapping things up, focused on a couple of quality of life and bug fixes that'll be coming out. The TLDR is we've been playing the full game start to finish for a long time, particularly as it comes to the gameplay and the progression system.
And it said that this journey been done.
Skill tree in particular. It's taken, I would say we've been focused on the past year on testing, validating, looking for spikes, balance issues.
Oh.
It's been quite a challenge, but we've had the time, which is really what these challenges come down to. When you have this kind of deep RPG complexity, build crafting, it's all time. It's all time. And incredibly smart designers, smarter than me.
So yeah,
They've been just polishing the game.
That's why it's probably really balanced, but it's really the classes and the skill trees that give it true depth and agency. So I got hands on
Time for QA. Let's go. That's crazy to hear from an EA product.
That Bioware had set up for themselves. And for reference, the level cap is 50. Now, a lot of Veilguard's combat is built upon its enemy design. At its root, it is simple, but I do think the usage of it thus far has been effective. So you have your standard enemies with health that you're just going to cleave through with ease. Then there are also enemies with a blue bar atop their health bar, and that's going to serve as a barrier. This is taken down through your range attacks, which force you to maneuver between CQC and ranged. Then there are armor enemies who require a heavy attack. So once the health bar is revealed, it's go time, and you can lay on maximum amount of damage. So now you're switching between CQC, ranged, heavy attacks, and it never really diverts from that from my experience, but I didn't mind it because the encounters were always forcing me to alter my playstyles significantly during combat, where it was a really good mix of challenge and fun. Now, sometimes the camera would get jammed up, and
So your watches still come out buggy. I mean, every preview's been saying it's been running fine. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, if it does, of course, we're gonna get on it, but
good range with the staff, but
I haven't seen nobody saying that.
That can be used to make arcane bombs that really let you nuke late game, but also let you nuke enemies with armor.
Like I said earlier, you might have not been in the stream. Like, I've never heard of a studio doing a 6-hour demo. Like, that's not normal. That's a sign of confidence.
Because with the staff, you're a bit slower, but you do damage from afar.
And they said they've been done with the game. They've been testing it for the last year.
Spells like Fireball and Chain Lightning were unlocked for me early.
I mean, there's going to be that too, Nomad, right? Yeah, there's always going to be bugs too. Like, you're not going to be able to 100% everything.
Zero gravity effects that allowed for some extremely powerful combinations. And at one point, I was chaining together 3 combos in a row between myself, Davern, and Harding, where I really felt like the game was just clicking on all cylinders. Then there's the Warrior.
This was Steam Deck verified as of 2 months ago.
I did like this one.
Yeah, in order to get Steam Deck verified, it has to be optimized. Especially because the Steam Deck is like 2-3-year-old hardware.
The least, it's very defensively oriented in what I experienced in the mid game, and I initially struggled with melee combat in this game before clicking with it with the rogue because of their advanced maneuverability. So it may have just been a skill issue, I'll admit. Now, this class thrives on parries, drawing aggro, and booting your opponents into the abyss below you. I personally wasn't a big fan of the alternative two-handed weapon that you'd have to whittle away at enemies' heavy armor. It felt a little too flimsy, and the other options at my disposal were far better. But what I did love, I'm still deciding if the mage edges it out, but the rogue. Oh, the rogue's abilities are nice. They're hella nice. So this is the one I played the most, especially in the late game, so I didn't really get to feel the power curve because I didn't start off in the beginning with the rogue, but you dual wield blades as you'd expect with a short bow for ranged encounters. And you could basically Chidori slam the ground and then do damage over time with electricity. You could throw down a turret to help you out in combat. This is aside from your companions, which is an
I feel like my PS4 can run this.
I went in, and for each class I played, there were 2 other directions I could have gone in to experience this playthrough. Don't let that intimidate you too much. Bioware did pack in a respecking feature that is free, so you'll be able to fully experiment. And as someone who's played RPG...
Y'all hear that? You hear that, Ronald? You can respec for free. So if you fuck up your build, you can make another one.
like your whole lives. Look, I'm going to be utilizing that respec feature.
Game wasn't on my radar, but it got my attention. Hey,
a little bit in the rune system. Like, there's a lot of choices here. It's a little overwhelming, I'm gonna be honest. So it's good that they had a free respec option here that you can do at any point. And so that's just the leveling system. I haven't even talked about the equipment and the rune system, which has a bigger impact on builds than I really expected. So passive abilities on weapons really do let you lay an incredible amount of bonus damage, whether it be a particular element or even just increasing your general ability damage. Then the runes actually have active abilities that you could trigger in combat, like temporarily giving yourself resistances to certain attacks or even laying on more damage than normal. And you can go to the caretaker at the lighthouse, who allows you to exchange these passive abilities on your equipment at any time. So again, you got to experiment away. More importantly, for someone as a big RPG fan, this promotes the replayability from two angles. I'm seeing a lot of replayability in the story, and I'm hoping that what I saw in Act 1 delivers the same in Acts 2 and 3. but also now I'm looking down the pipe at a very deep gameplay system that could be replayable unto itself. So
are we balling tonight,
all the
Nomad?
different ways I can play Dragon Age, the Veilguard. And between that and the character creator, there is a sense of being who you want to be in this world. And I'm so excited for that because this is what I knew BioWare for. This is why I loved BioWare. These are the games I expect.
Did they say the release date? I think October 31st. I know it has
This could
one.
be a great return to glory. Do
Wait, what did I say?
I have any final nitpicks to get out of my system? I guess if I have any concerns, it might be about the way progression in some rooms is handled. It's either killing...
Yeah, 31st.
Oftentimes you'll delete these blight boils, and I feel like that's something the game leans on pretty heavily to open up certain rooms or doors. They're kind of the mini puzzles in the game and remind me a bit of God of War in that regard. This game does give a lot of people God of War energy, I will say. I feel like with the RPG mechanics and the conversations, it reminds me not fully of God of War, but I've heard that comparison drawn pretty often, and I feel like when the term naturally gets watered down to God of Veilguard, people are probably...
Too many games? Nah, ain't no games. Gaming is dead. According to PS4 niggas, there's no reason to upgrade. There's no reason to play any of these games. Just get on Fortnite. There's the video if y'all want the full one. But it looks like he's giving good reviews too. Let me go in the sub box. Oh, I'm on my other account. I'm on Hokage highlights. Let me switch to Black Hoagie. Let me go in the sub box. Did you hear Horizon Zero Dawn remaster? Yeah, I heard it got is rumored that, yeah, we talked about it yesterday. PS4 niggas can play it again. You guys got a chance to play one of your favorite games again. Let's see. What else we got in the shub box? Shout out to Veilguard. It's looking good. Dun, 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 dun. Nothing changed. Ben Simmons is doing his 3-point shooting tour right now. That show that put 40 kids in the middle of nowhere. Vice TV. Between Horizon, Civilization 6, Super Catboy. Oh, sweet, Super Catboy. Jedi Survivor on PS4. We up. We up. Dead Rising Remastered trailer. Not seeing anything interesting. Why you get recommended Vlad? I'm in the sub box. It's because I'm subbed him. Let's see. Bionic Bay, Valley Peaks, Airframe. Let's see. Ben Simmons gym highlights. I know, right? Are you going to try to bully me because I'm subscribed to him? I don't watch every video. Skirt. There's a reason why he's popular. Don't act like you've never watched one of his videos. Damn, I'm not seeing nothing interesting in the damn sub box. Sparking Zero previews. We know 1,000 Gokus. I don't need to see any more of that gameplay. I don't need it. What else could y'all possibly want to see from Sparking Zero? At this point, that game just needs to come out. 1,000 Gokus and 1,000 Vegetas. I'm not seeing Heart Electric gameplay overview. What the fuck is this? Agatha reviews. What's this? It's got almost a 79. Or almost an 80, I mean. I'm not watching this shit, bro. I don't even know why I clicked that. Oh, here you go. Sparking Zero. Not clicking it. Let's see. Because it's going to be Goku gameplay. We know. You can customize or get... They revealed the what if branching in the story and people are going crazy over it. Is it really worth checking out the what if shit? New gameplay. Is it the IGN final preview? Which one? Which one should I look at that talks about the what if stuff? I better be impressed. Don't say anything negative about Sparking Zero. The stands are gonna... I don't have anything negative to say about it. I'm just not as excited as like the anime fans. Like, you gotta understand, these niggas don't play games. These anime niggas, like they play anime fighters. They've been waiting for this game since fucking Naruto, the last Naruto Storm came out. So to them, it's like mind blowing. But to me, it's like, you know, it's cool. Don't waste your time. It's on Bandai. Like, it's cool, but I'm not like super gung-ho about it. I'm just not as excited about it as everybody else. Let's see. Bandai Namco. It's just like you see how people switch it. Yeah, the piece of the PS5 Pro. Yeah, I seen this shit. Let's see. All right. Sparking Zero. Full. Is this it? The full roster reveal? Is this the video? Trending #1? All I know is the way y'all hyping this game better not die in a month. This game better not die in a month.
皆さんこんにちは。ドラゴンボールスパーキングゼロのプロデューサーの古谷と申します。
I will be pulling the numbers up.
本日は発売前最後のアナウンスとしてゲームモードの詳細と本編に実装するキャラクター2点に関してそれぞれお話しできればと思います。まずはゲームモード
I feel like you just grown out of being a weeb though, for real. Nah. I don't watch as much anime now due to like timing shit. And then the little time that I do have to watch TV, you know, you got to find something that both parties like. You see what I'm saying? But it's not like that. I don't have an appreciation for anime and nothing like that. It's just like a timing thing. It has more to do. It has more to do with like these arena fighters just don't do it for me. I mean, like we just watched Dragon Age Veilguard. This shit. Let me stop because I don't want to make the Dragon Ball fans mad. But like I said, my theory is they don't play a lot of games. That's the reason why this shit is so mind blowing to them. Press B. Yeah, it's a spam B simulator. Yeah, and it's a lot of nostalgia too.
プレイしていただける8人のキャラクターはご覧の通り
Yes, follow Goku, Gohan, Piccolo
ごはん、ピッコロ、ミライトランクス、フリーザ、悟空ブラック、ジレンとなります。各キャラクターごとにボリュームは様々です。例えばジレンはドラゴンボールスーパーの力の大会で登場したキャラクターのため、バトルステージは力の大会編での戦いのみとなっています。一方でボリュームが最も多い悟空についてはドラゴンボール Z の
I don't think it's mind blowing, it's just nostalgia. That's what I think it is too. And that's why I said this game better not die in a month. That's why I said it. I wouldn't be surprised if it does die within a month or 3. Like it's gonna have its hardcore audience, but once the nostalgia wears off, will this have enough to hold people long term? I don't know.
ドラゴンボールスーパーの力の大会編の戦いまでのバトルステージが用意されています。ステージは限られますが、各キャラクターとも作中で描かれていたシチュエーションでのバトルに加え、作中とは異なる展開、シチュエーションでのバトルもありますので、ぜひキャラクターになりきったつもりでお楽しみください。次にカスタムバトルについてご説明します。
Like I wish they would go a little bit more in detail on that. That was very brief about the arching storylines. That mode will be successful depending on how deep it is. If it's just like minor stuff, gotta play to see though. We gotta play to see.
こちらはオリジナルのシチュエーションのバトルを楽しめるモードです。
I'm predicting a good like Xenoverse 2 buzz, like a month or two.
バトルは基本的にキャラクター
Yeah, I think this would be a good game. I don't want anybody thinking I'm thinking this is gonna be a bad game. All I'm saying is me personally, this is not like one of the most anticipated games of the year, but I think it'll be good. My personal anticipated game.
バトル後のカットシーンで構成されます。カスタムバトルモードの中にあるエクストラバトルではゲームオリジナルのさまざまなシチュエーションや条件が課されたバトルを30以上用意しております。特殊な仕掛けが用意されているものや
situations. Some of the battles will include special gimmicks and highly challenging stuff.
難易度の高いものもありますので、腕に自信のある方はぜひチャレンジしてみてください。一方、エディットモードではプレイキャラクターやバトル前後のカットシーンやバトル中に起こるイベントなどをプレイヤーの皆様が自由に設定してオリジナルのバトルを作ることができます。
This type of stuff is really cool for like the super hardcore. Am I personally going to do this? No, because I'm not interested in creating my own Dragon Ball AMVs. But like for the hardcore, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not interested in my own Dragon Ball role plays.
設定について少し詳しくお伝えさせていただきます。カットシーンについてバトル前、バトル後とも5つのカットを作成してつなげています。バトル後のカットは勝敗などに応じて異なるカットを設定できますので、特殊なエンディングを用意されたい方はぜひ活用してみてください。1つのカットの中での設定項目としては、キャラクターの配置、ポーズ、表情、
You can do the expressions.
エフェクト、字幕、カメラワーク。
Yeah, you might be able to make your own like animated series with this, maybe if it's deep enough. That would be pretty cool. Add some Linkin Park to it, baby.
モノクロやセピアといった画面効果などがあり、すべて選択式で設定します。字幕については、ボイスはつきませんが、5000以上のベーステキストとなる文章が用意されており、
For subtitles, although voices are not included, over 5,000 base texts are available. Yeah, they let niggas make their own fan fiction. What the fuck?
一部の名詞は別のものに置き換える。
Okay, I can understand why the Dragon Ball community is excited. Like I said, most anime games fucking suck. And this looks like an anime game where they're actually putting some effort forth. And if you're part of that anime nigga gaming community where you're really thirsty, because like I said, like I feel like in terms of gaming communities, they low-key have like kind of hidden under the radar because they do play anime games. But to me, niggas who only play anime games are in the same bracket as niggas who play 2K and Madden and Call of Duty only. They tend to only play these games, so they're thirsty, they're deprived of good content. And this looks like they're putting some effort forward. So like I can understand why people are excited.
ので、組み合わせて皆様の思い描くシチュエーションを作ってみてください。続いてバトル中のイベントについてです。バトルの特殊なルールや条件を設定できるようになっています。
You can even give them buffs.
例えば、自分のヒットポイントが 30% 以下になったら強制的にスパーキングモードになるや、戦闘時間が30秒経過したら相手が控えのキャラクターと交代するや、相手を1人倒したら
Yo, shout out to Black Moon with the sub.
バトル中に起こるイベントを設定できます。組み合わせ次第では非常に複雑なバトルルールや勝利条件をリアルタイムに変化させることなどもできますので、オリジナルのバトルを盛り上げる仕掛けとして役立てていただければ嬉しいです。作ったものはアップロードして世界中のプレイヤーの皆様と共有できますので、
You can upload and play
皆様の
other
思い描く
people's
シチュ
stuff.
エーションのバトルを披露し合って楽しんでください。以上がゲームモードの説明となります。最後にキャラクターに
My big three will be Nappa. Nappa will be my anchor, farmer with a gun, and Apple.
でご紹介できればと思います。
Some new playable
まずは
characters.
こちらの映像をご覧ください。どうぞ。
Unstoppable. Unpoppable.
Here I come! I will destroy you!
This game almost feels like an apology for Jump Force, you know? Oh shit. We're sorry, guys.
My goodness, you must be some kind of idiot to face me. Here I am! I'm not done yet! What do you say we continue this fight on equal footing? God to God. No, the unstoppable knight of the Freezer Force!
The whole universe.
Oh, yeah, I'm playing him. They got a Frieza Force soldier. This nigga's so irrelevant, he don't even got a name. They just got Frieza Force soldier. Let's go. Hell yeah.
You see the shocking
Frieza Force soldier versus Blue Goku.
Soon the world I've been dreaming of for so long.
What was that?
Forging a new world isn't for you to do. It's up to us humans.
That man said that like he wasn't a Saiyan.
everything away.
Seriously? I'll take you out.
The end for you.
Oh, that was flashy.
Well then, let's carry on.
Frost!
You must be victorious. Try
Shout out to Jay Lamar with the sub. Oh, they got the wolves.
son of a...
Better not embarrass Master.
What?
You'll have to excuse me.
What has put the trust in me? Can't back down!
Hey.
Everything I've got. All into this one attack.
What's that? What's this, JP? In Sparking Zero's story mode, even if you choose the canon dialogue option for missions, if you meet certain conditions in battle, you can still be rewarded with branching paths and alternate endings outside of the usual story. They outdid themselves with this one. Let's see.
Not all either. Even if you decide to play it by the canon and team up with Piccolo, if you manage to defeat Raditz before Piccolo is able to charge his attack, you'll be met with a special, fully animated and voiced Sparking episode that plays out this what-if scenario of Goku surviving his encounter with Raditz, getting to train Gohan himself, and being there right when the Saiyans arrive on Earth. Producer Jun Furutani told me that when selecting the battles that they wanted to highlight in episode mode, they wanted to focus on the battles that highlighted the playable characters the best in the story, but they also wanted to put a focus on battles that could potentially lead to branching outcomes.
I think this is fire depending on how fleshed out it is, right? If it's just like you get a slight change in scenario, it's whatever. But if it changes the whole story, like you get the, like, you know how they said that, like, okay, in this scenario, Gohan trains and they're ready for when the Saiyans come. They know that they're coming. Like, do you get to play that out and then it's completely different dialogue and an outcome with the Saiyan saga? Or do you just get some still images, be like, this is what changed compared to the original one? It depends on how fleshed out it is. If it's just like something super simple, I personally don't really care. But if it's like full blown new stories fleshed out, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I want to keep the story going. Yeah, I want to keep the story going. I hope it's not just some still images. We'll see how this one plays out. They're grinding for a Toriyama. I got faith. They're grinding. You said I missed the movie characters. Were they about to show some new stuff?
Whoa! Looks like there's lots of powerful opponents still out there. Kakarot!
You wanna die?
Yeah.
Got the original Broly.
Try me. Don't know when to die.
Kakarot!
It's over now. Kamehameha! Prepare to die!
Mad characters. They got Yajirobe. Big Cooler. Man, it sucks. R.I.P. Toriyama. Like, I've always wanted, I know he's not canon, but he's got my favorite movie. I've always wanted him to be in the main storyline. And I feel like that's one thing they just left on the table when they really had an opportunity to, like, imagine a storyline where Black Frieza pulls up and then you think that Black Frieza is just going to destroy everybody. And he's like, oh no, I got one more secret. Me and my brother, we patch things up. And then Black Cooler pull up, bruh. And it's just a BBC party, bruh. That shit would be crazy. Yeah, Cooler was fire.
I won't show you any mercy. Not until I bring out your throat.
Well, does my resurrection surprise you? You'll never conquer me. Never!
Suppose I could run you over before I killed Goku.
They got the redneck android.
Final test. There's nothing you can do.
You're just a gnat buzzing around me.
Hey, whoa, Garlic Jr. That sounded like a racial slur was about to come out of his mouth. Just a what?
Dead zone. It will absorb everything.
Those who mocked and belittled my genius shall suffer the consequences tenfold.
Everybody here.
Yes, I feel like my old, young self again. I fear nothing now. Face me if you dare.
I'll crush you.
Have you come for the fruit of the Tree of Might?
Turtles. One of the most confusing characters in Dragon Ball history.
I will dominate this galaxy. Eat this.
Yoji Black Goku.
This one. Electric Buster.
What's up, dude?
Get back! Trunks! I'll take over! You will not spread your evil to this planet! Disappear!
Janemba!
I am neither Goku nor Vegeta! I am the one who will destroy you!
Sheesh! Everybody here, bruh. Everybody here. Yeah, this game is 100% fan service, which is a good thing. That's why I said I'm curious to see what will be the response like 3 months after it comes out. Like once the nostalgia and the excitement of the fan service weighs off and we get down to the gameplay, because the gameplay still looks like Naruto to me, but maybe I'm wrong. From what I've seen, it looks like you hold the trigger and you have 4 attacks like every other arena fighter. Bro, ain't nobody playing with most of these characters. You're not wrong. You know who everybody's going to pick. I think Fighters will be considered the better game. That's a bold statement. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't have a strong stance on this game. The combo system is in depth in this series. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. I am excited to try it out. Maybe not as excited as y'all, but I definitely want to try it out. What a surprise. That's enough for me. It looks like Dragon Ball. It is. We'll see. We'll see. It's not like Naruto Storm. Like, it's not just spam the X button and then hold the trigger for one of your 4 special attacks. You also have to spin the analog stick to do a beam fight, okay? Woo. It's just like Tekken. Like, if y'all say it's deep, I'll take y'all word for it. Y'all know more than me. Y'all know more than me. The beam fights are intense, man. You get off the analog stick, you have a fucking swirl in the middle of your palm. Niggas thought Xenoverse was complex. Like I said, anime niggas, they don't play a lot of games, so everything is exciting to them. You were right about the secret character too. It is what it is. We'll see. We'll see. It looks good though. It looks good. I ain't gonna front. It looks good. Let's check out this last trailer I seen. Heart Electric exclusive gameplay overview from IGN.
Hello everyone,
before we hop on the game.
To Heart Electric. This is our
I don't know what this is.
Competitive hero shooters, and we're so psyched to
Hero shooters. How we feeling?
Finally be able to show you what we were working on. Now, some of this stuff might change between now and when the game comes out, so keep that in mind. But with that being said, let me show you how a match of Heart Electric actually looks like. Before the match starts, choose your hero, each with their own abilities, and a loadout of weapons and perks. You can even customize your loadout to craft your own playstyle. The match starts with 4 teams of 4 players, with each having their own area of the map. The objective of the match is to knock out the other teams by depleting their energy. Flatlining opponents and forcing them to respawn will drain some of their team's energy. So watch your back.
Drain the team. You gotta drain your ops. Whoa.
Teams will need to charge their energy back up.
That's a great emote. Black hoodie.
Called hearts.
Good job grabbing that heart. Don't lose it.
A heart will spawn in the center of the map with regular intervals. And bringing a heart to a plant site, which can be found around the map, will let your team drain.
Full Sail Concord, chill.
Heart is planted and energy is releasing.
However, other teams are able to hack your heart and claim that energy for themselves.
Hack in progress, get them on.
And you decide if a fight for a heart is worth the risk. When 2 teams are fully eliminated, all energy reserves will surge, and the match enters its final stage.
So instead of TDM, you have an energy. It's kind of like Gears of War. They used to, the way Gears of War used to do TDM, I think it was Gears of War 3. It used to be, instead of like everybody has a certain number of lives, there was one pot of lives. And once that pot of lives was gone, you can't respawn. It's kind of something similar, just they're calling it energy. And that shit used to piss me off because it was always 1 or 2 people on your team that would hog all the lives. And then you died once and you didn't come back. You'd be like, what the fuck? Who used all 20 lives? The nigga that's 0-19. Okay.
Where respawning is no longer possible. Under a protective dome, you must find the last opponents and eliminate them in one final showdown. The last team standing is declared the winner.
It looks a little rough.
Introduce Heart Electric's other core mechanic, the Flux. The Flux lets you
the Flux capacitor
objects around the map by holding Q. Highlighted objects can be interacted with magnetically, allowing you to traverse the map quicker, for example.
Been wanting to tell TBH to get off my school Full Sail. Went on TV on the highlights channel. You go to Full Sail? What are you, a sophomore, senior, junior, freshman? You making a mini clip game?
The Flux is a creative tool, so we want you to experiment and find your own techniques. You can even layer the Flux together with different hero abilities to find new playstyles and moves. The way that you and your team combine tactics, abilities, and the Flux is up to you. Creative and strategic plays will be the key to victory. Good luck out there and have fun in the playtest. We hope that
it doesn't look terrible, but it looks a little rough. Kind of looks. I also don't really see anything groundbreaking. Like I said, the whole concept of the energy thing, that's Gears of War. It's just a shared amount of lives with a couple of little things on the map you could add, but yo, chill, bro, chill. But I mean, it looks okay. I'm not gonna play it, but it doesn't look terrible. Like, it's too generic, yeah. Like we've really reached this really weird space in gaming where like there's just no space for anything to be just okay anymore. Your game's got to be either really amazing or really bad for somebody to talk about it, and you want it to be amazing. You don't want to be the bad side because then it ain't gonna sell well.